Big hair, big hearts, and a whole lot of Southern charm. Let's welcome Grace Helena Walls, author of the new book, Good Hair Days, a modern twist on Steel Magnolias meets Hello Beautiful. Happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having
Oh,
me.
I want to hear all about this book. What was the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, so it was actually inspired by my own trip to the hair salon. I went to a place that was run by two friends, and they spoke so much like sisters. They were just so free and relaxed with each other that it really sparked the idea, oh my goodness, how fun would it be to write a book about a hair salon that was run by two sisters? And I love a Southern setting, so it all just kind of fell into place from there.
And Dolly Parton is another piece of inspiration. Of course, we remember her in Steel Magnolias. She had her own salon. And those women seem to be like family, sisters.
Yes, absolutely. And so the family-run beauty shop in the book is called June's Beauty, and it is Dolly Parton themed. It is down to earth, so the Dolly Parton features are most likely magazine clippings, very homemade. But Dolly is an inspiration to those women, just like she is so many other Southern women.
But you are originally a social worker. So how did you bridge being a social worker into becoming an author?
Yes. So I worked as a social worker before I had my children, and I'd always been a reader. And when I decided to sit down and write, it struck me how useful actually my experience as a social worker is, because so much of being a social worker is really listening to people's stories, getting to know their past and their present, and all the small pieces that go into that making up their life, the way they think, the way they feel. And so as I started to build these characters, I was really surprised at how my experience meeting real life people and getting to know them and their stories was sort of a version of building my own characters from scratch.
Yes, and let's talk about the tradition of Southern naming, the Southern naming tradition. So what is this exactly for those who may be transplants to the South and the Southeast?
Yeah, for sure. So I love the Southern tradition, the naming traditions of handing down family names. So I always love hearing people's stories about, especially when have babies and they say, oh, I'm going to give them my grandmother's name or my aunt's name, or there's certain traditions. Well, in Good Hair Days, the family has a tradition that every firstborn daughter is named June. And so our main character in the story is actually a firstborn, but she was given the name Georgia.
Oh.
And then her younger sister was named Junie. And along with the tradition of naming, the June gets the keys to the beauty shop. So Georgia is kind of left in this lurch. Their mother has unfortunately passed away. And so they're left with a lot of questions. Georgia has been given this directive to go out and succeed and do more and be more. And so throughout the book, she's contending with that. And by the end, we do get some answers.
Is that a theme specific to Good Hair Days, or is that a theme that you include in any of your other writing? And have you written other books? What other books have you written?
Yes, so my debut is called Southern by Design, and that actually came out in February. So these books are pretty close together. But in that book, also the naming was an important component as well. It wasn't necessarily intentional, but I love names and I love the meaning of them. And so as a writer, when I'm choosing a name for a character, it's really important to me that I get it right. And so in Southern by Design, there is a naming component. The mother is very overbearing and she gives her daughter her name. And in that sense, it's more of a burden than a gift because of the pressure that it puts on her.
Yeah, I have to ask you this. If you could describe your writing as a hairstyle, what would it be?
Oh, goodness, that's a great question. I think I would have to say a blowout.
A blow.
Because it's very southern, and it should be kind of warm and easy and not easy to do, but easy to kind of wear and relaxed and loose.
Well, relaxed and loose, but then they also say the higher the hair, the closer to God.
That's right. That's right. And that is a catchphrase of the women in Good Hair Days. They are lovers of big hair, which also, helps tie in the Dolly Parton component as
Yes.
well, because we all know that Dolly has the best hair and it's always big and styled and just so Southern.
Oh, indeed. And I'm sure she owns stock in some hairspray companies as well. Well, you are going to be having an affair. This is going to be at the Dunes Resort. sponsored by Buxton Books. This is happening Thursday, November 13th, so people can come, meet and greet, get a signed book, and just have a wonderful conversation with you. I think everyone's going to be very excited to see you and to read this new book. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, I can't wait to be at Wild Dunes with my incredible friends at Buxton Books. It's going to be a fun night, so I hope to see everybody there.
Terrific. All right. Well, thank you so much. It was great to meet you, Grace Helena Walls.
Thank you so much for having
We'll
me.
be back after this.